So let's go ahead. You guys on share the broadcast for us on Facebook Live at the Support Surgeon fan page. You guys ready? All right. Wait for some people here.
Are you ready?
On the Support Surgeon fan page. Help us out. Oh, looking good, looking good. I hope this works. All right, we got some people watching.
Is it on live?
Mm-hmm. On live. So, welcome to the May Patient Dinner Club here at the Great Indigo Crow on Corrales.
Woo!
Do you guys like the food?
Yeah.
It's amazing? Yeah, yeah. You guys
Ready
are...
for a nap.
Nap.
Somebody rub my belly.
You guys are worth it, all right? You guys are worth it, trust me, all right? So, from now on, I want you to treat yourselves. Well, no dinner club in June. I'm with my daughter. We'll be back in July. We've had an amazing day. We've had an amazing day, and I think we've raised a lot of money. We're doing a lot of great stuff. Our next speaker is Jason Sisneros, who is the beefy Spaniard. Beefy Spaniard.
Yeah.
Spaniard.
Entrepreneur, business owner,
Yeah.
humanitarian, and beefy.
And bald.
And bald.
Yeah.
And like
Bald is
hairstylist to the stars. And he gave a great talk. Who was at his talk at the gardening club? What'd you guys think?
Awesome.
Awesome, right? Special session. Confession time. Who cried when he was speaking? Who cried? Look at that. Look at that, Jace. Look at all of them, man.
So did I. Oh, I got to raise my hand too. I cried.
Yeah, I cried. You did cry like a big baby.
Hey.
Big bald-headed baby. Right here.
It's all good.
So, just as a recap, Feed a Billion is a organization whose purpose is to feed 1 billion people by November 20th, 2020. They work in conjunction with
With Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
The great Tony Robbins. Woo!
Yeah.
Yep. And every money we raise to feed 500 million people, he will
Match.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
November 20th, 2020 is our deadline. We're going to have some opportunities to buy some books to do that. But I'd like to introduce Jason. We're going to do a Q&A, so it'll be a little bit different than what we did at the dinner, at the special session. All right? So, Mr. Sisneros,
Yes,
the
sir. Dr. V.
the first most pressing question that's on everybody's mind right now is, are you single or married?
I'm single.
Woo!
Okay, I was about to
There we
flag my
go.
makeup.
There you go. You heard it, ladies. But no, in all seriousness, like he's a busy, hardworking man. You know, we have to, anyway. Okay.
What does that have to do with feeding people?
Oh, I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting to feed people. So, you own 29 companies.
Yes, sir.
How did that come about? Tell us a little bit about your background story. You grew up where?
I grew up all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah. Denver, Colorado is where I call home.
Yep.
That's where I was born and raised.
And you didn't have such like a nice, easy. Were you born rich?
No. I wasn't born rich. No, we were.
Use the microphone. Yeah.
Ah.
We're behind your back.
See?
Look at that.
You can turn this way.
There we go. There you go.
Okay.
Y'all can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Loud mouth. Go, brother.
So, no, I was not born rich. And not with a silver spoon in my mouth. But, you know, I don't think very many of us were.
No.
So, you know, you were? Awesome. Good for her. Hey, everybody give her a round of applause.
Woo!
That's good. Woo!
To having
Silver
rich
spoon
parents.
over there.
Love it.
That's good. So, yeah, so basically the answer is that most of us have our own cross to bear, right? It's not about talking about my past or the things that I've gone through.
No, it's important to hear your past.
They want to hear your past.
Go.
So, how many? There was a bunch of people that were here earlier.
Yeah.
So, it just came from a rough background. You know, came from a rough background. My adopted father went to prison for attempted murder of me and my mom when I was 17, and you know, we survived that. Went from there, had some great mentors, Tony Robbins being one of them, and turned it around and have turned it into a life of service, which is, I think, the only life that really matters.
Woo!
Right? Is one that is serving other people.
And I'm going to say something you haven't said on Facebook Live, so it's fine.
Okay.
I don't need that. I'm loud and I'm proud. So you've been to jail a couple times, is that right?
Several times. Yeah.
Several times. Woo! Look at that. Only my people would applaud that, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I love it. Yep.
So,
Mistakes. So here's the thing.
Yes.
Right. If you really want to know about the past, it's not about what I went through. It's really about the mistakes that I made.
And you learned.
And I've made so many of them. I've bankrupted 3 companies. I've been divorced several times. You know, there's every mistake that you can make. I mean, there's a lot of people that traipse around the world, you know, and speak. That's why they kind of irritate me a little bit. They traipse around and they try to act like they're somebody that they're not. You'll never get that from me. I've made every mistake that you can possibly make. And I think that all of us have our demons, and all of us have the things that we go through in life. And it's not the fact that you make mistakes, it's how you rebound from them and what you do and what your life stands for after you've made your mistake. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
So
So
cool.
what's the biggest lesson you learned from the mistake you made? Biggest lesson.
Don't do it again,
Yeah.
right? From the man who has the amazing tattoos over here, right? So that is
That's Brother Steve.
Yeah, that's it. I've got, look, you can see mine. I'm getting there. Yeah. So the issue is don't make them. A lot of times we'll talk about this. I've got to do some Facebook Lives for my audience as well, and we talk about the fact that when the first time you do it, it's a mistake. The second time you do it, it's a choice, right? And if you choose to hurt people the same way twice, now you're a douche.
Oh, God.
Right? And
You're douchey.
and so don't be a douche, right? Like that's the bumper sticker. Don't be douchey to people. So yes, make mistakes, try new things, step up, step out of your comfort zone, and fail and fall on your face, but get back up and don't make that same mistake again. And that's really, I think every motivational speaker you've ever heard speak, that's what they're trying to say. Don't be a douche.
Don't be. So everybody wants to know, how did you get involved with Tony Robbins? How did that come about?
So Tony, I was homeless in Southern California for a period of time, and there was a homeless outreach that fed people in Dana Point, and it was put on by Pastor Rick Warren of Saddleback Church.
Y'all know them?
Purpose Driven Life.
Yeah.
He's an amazing guy.
There you go.
There was a pastor there, Pastor Timmy, who handed me Tony Robbins' book, and that's where it started. I went from there. I went to an event. I ended up working for him. I went traveling with him. I became part of his Platinum Partners, and then I've done some amazing things.
You're too humble. #1 trainer, is that right?
Well, yes, for a period of time, yeah.
He was the #1 trainer for Tony Robbins, helped him and everything like that, yeah? So distill for us, what if you had to give one major lesson, I know there's a lot, from Tony Robbins in the 11, 12 years you spent with him, what would be the #1 lesson you learned from Tony Robbins?
Know your outcome.
Oh, what do you mean?
Know your outcome. Every journey, here's the thing, when we get lost in life, it's because we don't know our destination. And so a lot of times we're so busy fighting the battles of today. I've got to pay the rent, I've got a sickness, I've got cancer, I've got this, I've got that. We're dealing with the pressures of today. We forget to give ourselves a compelling outcome and a compelling reason to live and a compelling destination. And if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up on somebody else's map.
Woo!
Right? You're going to end up being the part of somebody else's story instead of writing your own.
That's right. That's right. And you've just kind of really turned your life around. You started writing your own map and your own destination.
Mm-hmm.
How, for the people watching and for the people in the audience, how do you do that? If you're struggling, if you're maybe living paycheck to paycheck, if maybe you're overweight, how do you make the turn? What is one thing you could tell them?
So the first thing, going back to when I got Tony's book, one of the things I read through it, the biggest thing was that I was blaming my, those of us that have had a really hard life, we understand that it's really easy for us to tell people, I've had a hard life, right? I was speaking to you earlier. You've been through some rough shit in life. And so...
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
So
they're used to hearing shit.
See, my people understand. They get it. So we've been through tough times, but the issue is that if we carry around, the one thing I got out of Tony's book was you can't blame anybody else, right? Where I am with its finance, with my body, with my money, with my business, with my relationships, whatever it is, that's my shit. I made these decisions, not somebody else. Therefore, if I want a different life, I got to start making different decisions. Because if you look at your life right now, your finances, what shape you're in, those kind of things, it's a series of decisions you've made over the last 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years of your life So if you want a different result, you got to do different shit, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's.
So I'm going to touch on this kind of briefly, and I know we can't go into deep details, but Tony Robbins has been on the news doing all sorts of stuff, talking about like a mission he went on to save some young girls. I keep bringing it up because it's awesome.
Keep bringing it up.
It's awesome. I love it. From a sex trade.
Yes.
And guess who was involved in helping coordinate that?
Yay, it was part of it.
So whatever you can tell, like kind of talk about that moment a little bit, and why you do
I'll
that
tell
in
you
your
about
organization.
the organization's Operation Underground Railroad, and it was started by an ex-CIA guy that was the head of sex crimes unit, and started his own organization so that he could go out into these different countries. And he put together an amazing team of people. I happen to be blessed to be a part of that team. Tony Robbins heavily supports it. And, we went on a mission together that saved 36 girls and put 11 traffickers behind bars for many, many years.
Yeah.
That was amazing, man. Yeah, this guy he doesn't just talk the talk, but he walks the walk. Can you tell a little story about the Serbia thing, or is that? No, can't tell about Serbia.
That's in private.
Oh, dude, that was such a good story. That's such a good story. So how did Feed a Billion come to fruition, and tell us about its founder, Dr. AJ, and how you're involved.
So it was originally the idea, not for Feed a Billion, but for feeding people, was a passion of Tony Robbins. He had an experience when he was a young boy of somebody bringing a meal on Thanksgiving, and so he has there's all around the country now. I mean, he's fed hundreds of millions of people with his outreach. And then Ambush Jane, AJ, who's a dear friend of mine, stood up at one of Tony Robbins' events and said, "Hey, we'd like to help support that, and we'd like to feed 1 billion people." And so Tony said, "Look, I'm in. We're going to match meals," and that's how the whole thing started.
So the goal is what?
The goal is 1 billion meals by November 20th of 2020.
Woo!
Yeah.
And you guys have already organized a very special event, November 20th. What is it? Tell us about it.
November 20th, 2020. We're going to have a big event. Let's talk. There's two things that I really want to address.
Go, brother.
The event in November 20th of 2020 is important, but what's more important is that we all understand our role. Right? It doesn't have to be Feed a Billion. Like, I'm just standing in front of you because that's what I'm passionate about. Operation Underground Railroad, whatever it may be that you're passionate about. It's actually like taking a moment and stepping back. We talked earlier about this, that it's about taking action for whatever it is you're passionate about, right? So how long have we been up here? We did this a little bit earlier. How long have we been up here?
10 minutes.
Okay, so 10 minutes multiplied, that's 60, that's 600.
600.
600 minutes divided by 4. What's 600 divided by 4?
150.
150 people have died of starvation in the world in the amount of time that we've been standing up here talking on camera. 150 people that are dead. And we have the wherewithal in this day and age to be able to step up and to stop that. Or at least
help
bring it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so feedabillion.org has 3 ways to participate. One is if you don't have any money, we understand that. We've got businesses that participate and they put up money. So if somebody goes there and you go to feedabillion.org and you pick one of the companies that are participating, you share their page, you like their page, and they're going to, for the like, give 5 meals. They're going to, for the share, they're going to pay 10 meals. And then Tony Robbins on the other side is going to match that with 15. So for just doing nothing but liking and sharing on Facebook, you're going to feed 30 people. Okay? That's if you have no money. If you do have some money, we've got a donate page. You go there, you sacrifice, as we were talking, right? We were talking about a coffee a day. A coffee a day. $3 or $6. I don't know, how much coffee is these days. $5. So $5, right? That's 50 meals. Right? $5. It's 50 meals. So put that on your donate page. 5 times however many you have, 20. That's whatever, $1,000 or whatever you can do. $100, right? $100. on the donate page. And if you're a company that's looking to get more, more reach with your social media marketing, you want to be part of a social movement, join us at Feed a Billion. We help you get your Feed a Billion or your social media reach way up there.
So why do you do this, Jason? Because you're obviously a busy entrepreneur, businessman. You've had a rough upbringing. Why, when you could just be traveling the globe and just living the life, like why do you do, like coming to Albuquerque to speak to us? Why do you do it?
Well, because you asked me to be here. So, can anybody turn
Asian
Dr. V
persuasion?
Down? Can Dr. V, yeah, we can't turn Dr.
I got
V
the Asian
down.
persuasion. Go ahead. Now,
We have to
really,
be
why?
here.
But you'll go anywhere.
I'll go anywhere, anytime, anywhere. We don't, at Feed a Billion, the executives that are on our team, the founder, myself, we don't take a salary. It's really important for me to say that. We don't take a salary. This trip here to Albuquerque, the hotel, the food, the flight, that's all on me. We pay our own expenses because we want this to be as fluid as we can to be able to get these meals to people that are out there in the world that need them. So, and I do this. I had a conversation with a very, very good friend of mine, Sean, who helps people, homeless folks. He's told me about this conversation that he had with his pastor, and it's this concept called shadow mission. So shadow mission is if you're called to do something. For instance, if I would have gotten that call to go help these sex slaves, and I would have said no, right? Now what that means is that what I stand for is the rape of little girls, right? If I what? Oh, you can't. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So if somebody calls you to help and you don't act on it, now you become for that event, right? So if they would have called me and said, we need help, with sex slaves, or we need help with starving children around the world, and I said no, well, now I'm for the rape of little girls. Now I'm for the starvation of children that can't support themselves and lead them up. So that shadow mission really inspires me every single day. When I go to bed with a full belly, with a roof over my head, and a great family and a wonderful career, I go to sleep, and I know that by the time I wake up, there's going to be, thousands of little girls that have been raped while I was asleep. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people that are dying from starvation while I was asleep. So when I wake up, I'm not going to, I'm doing everything I can every single day to support and lift up and to do what I can as an individual by being here with you, right? We're having a conversation, and it's not about, we want to grow as much as we can as individuals, and then we want to serve at the highest level we possibly can. And we're never truly satisfied, at least not me, we're never truly satisfied unless we're supporting other people. And there's a hell of a lot of people that are in this world that cannot stand up for themselves. And that's who we need to stand up for. Those of us that we can stand on our own 2 feet, we can go to work every day, we can do something, then we should be ashamed of ourselves if we're not doing something to help other people that cannot stand for themselves.
Oh, man, come on now. Preach, brother.
Preach.
That's awesome. I mean, that passion is, the thing is that passion is in all of us, isn't that right?
It is, yes. Every one of you has something inside of you that you've been wanting to do that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Because that's what being, I think, again, my opinion, being human is all about, is serving other people. It's serving the world at large. I'm not a religious guy, but religions teach us all the time. People go to church because it's something that's bigger than you, that you're supporting, that you're helping. And it could be Feed a Billion, it could be anything, but just do something, and it improves your own life on the flip side of that coin.
We talk a lot about that amongst our group, with my patients. Like, you have to find something that's bigger than your obesity, that's bigger than your weight loss journey. I mean, like, you gotta do that, right?
Yes.
So we're partnered. I have a book called Partner. Eating Healthy on a Budget. One book sell will feed 10 people, and then Tony will match it.
20 people?
So it'll be 20 people per book on Amazon. You can get this anywhere. I'd like to thank Jason Sisneros for coming today. I'd
like to thank Dr. V stepping up. Those of you that earlier know what he's done. We had to, like I said, he has he was so adamant about helping, right? I get a lot of people that come up, and a lot of times they're like, yeah, we want to help you with Feed a Billion, and then they disappear, right? Or they're doing it, they say it in front of a crowd because they want to get the accolades. Oh, you're going to write a check, and then we chase them down, they never write the damn check, which is okay, you know. But Dr. V's not that guy. Dr. V is a guy that said, I want to help, and he bugged us, and he bugged us. I mean, he was persistent. Right, and
it was like an anal wart.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I was going to be emotional, but now I'm not. So anyway, we created the very first position called an ambassador. So he's our #1 first ambassador for Feed a Billion, and he's been responsible for almost 250,000 meals to date for Feed a Billion. Big round of applause.
All of y'all.
Come on, a big round of applause.
People.
Dr. B.
We got more stuff. We got more stuff to do.
Oh, we do?
No, yeah, you know, well,
Rushing me.
it's 2020. I'm gonna raise a lot more money, feed a lot more meals. I know, you know, my tribe will do it. We've got books today that were signed by Farmer Rick, Jason Sisneros, and myself. $10. We'll feed 20 people plus Tony will match us, so 40 people for these books today. And I hope you'll join us. Please share the feed. If you're watching on Facebook Live, go ahead and share for the feed for us now. And you guys here in the audience, just go ahead. If you haven't already shared, let's do that again. Another round of applause for my buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Appreciate
Come
it.
up after the dinner. Come up and take some selfies with this man. He's better looking in person than he is on Facebook Live. I promise.
Thank
you.
God.
Woo!
A face made for radio.